Hello, Chiblee. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a good time watching the stream. Hello. What were you playing yesterday? I can't remember. I was watching a little bit of it. It was not Roblox. I remember that. Random games? Oh, dude! I got myself in trouble because I was talking about you were like rolling random anime games on Steam and then being like, I'm never gonna play this. And I was like, it's crazy without being too disrespectful. It's crazy how, like, even though I'm not an anime guy, some anime is like the greatest media you could ever see. Cowboy Bebop, Ghost in the Shell. There's probably others. I'm going to lump Miyazaki movies in here, even though they might not be like the traditional definition of anime. But then, like, so many times people are like, you've got to see this anime. It's incredible. I watch one episode and I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I would much rather, I would rather watch some kind of like CBS police procedural than the average anime that gets suggested. The ones that are at the top of the top, where it's just like hot ladies smoking cigarettes in a rusted kind of retro futuristic landscape, and when they drive motorcycles, the taillights of the motorcycle leave like a light trail around and stuff like that. That shit's crazy. That's like the greatest media you'll ever watch. But then, like, so much of what gets suggested. I mean, like, I'll give you an example. Kate was like, we should watch Cowboy Bebop. We watched some Cowboy Bebop. I was like, this show is amazing. Then she was like, if you like that, well, let's watch some Gurren Lagann. And I was watching Gurren Lagann. I was like, what's going on? Just a bunch of 8-year-olds working in an asbestos mine complaining about things, and then they fight like giant robots sometimes, and the villain is like he's like a teenage emo vampire or something like that. I'm like, what is this? It's lit. I'm not trying to knock it. Apparently, it's one of the best. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hey, you Watanabe, thank you for the gifted subscriptions as well. Thank you. I'm genuinely not knocking. Like, I think I've made a fairly reasonable case. I'm being positive about anime. I'm not saying there's no good animes. I guess it's just that, like, I don't know, some of the stuff that gets... Like, here's the thing. Sometimes people suggest an anime and they're like, it's a 10 out of 10. And you watch it and you're like, oh my God, you're absolutely right. Sometimes you watch it and you lose respect for the person that recommended it. I guess that's true of any media, but it seems to happen a lot more commonly with me with anime. Like, otherwise reasonable people will be like, dude, you got to check out, oh, the hottest new anime of the season is like an anime where like someone in middle school gets a sword that like kills their bullies or something like that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. The only thing I would rather watch that then is like another Netflix show about Narcos. Like if they released Narcos Colombia, Narcos Mexico, if they went like, okay, next one's Venezuela, I'm like, I'm out. I just can't watch another show with like the yellow filter on top of it. I don't care who's moving kilos of coke down to Caracas. I'm over it. But there is, for sure, without a doubt, there is good anime. Dry land is not a myth. I've seen it. This is a weird one. You might say, why would you do this? Well, the thing is, we're never going to be running the kangaroo long term. We're putting the toad on because the toad's useful. The way that this run works right now, although we're going to lose this one badly, is... it's just buffalo. Just get a lemon on the buffalo. Also, and again, I'm hoping that... Because, like, I know that there's, like... You got to be careful when you talk about anime online, because all the anime fans have been raised in a crucible of constantly getting their hobby criticized. So they have, like... It's the same way when you're dealing with a telemarketer. They have, like, a list of common reasons people say no, and then, like, a way to steamroll past it. Because last night I was like... I guess for me, part of the weirdness is that why is so much of... anime wrapped up in horniness? And then someone replied, well, a lot of American TV is wrapped up in horniness too. And I'm like, it is, but it's sort of like, I guess there's a cultural difference, because American shows are like degenerate horny. Like MILF Manor is like, we're gonna fuck. But then like in anime, like so much of it is kind of like obfuscated. Like people's eyes are popping out of their heads. They're getting nosebleeds. They're like, I'm in love with this girl. And then you're like, it's horny. And they're like, it's not horny. It's not horny at all. You're weird if you think it's horny. And I'm like, brother, look at the picture. Look at the damn capsule art for this show and tell me it's not horny. It's like 8 incredibly large-breasted young women wearing no clothes. And like, and I'm the guy who's like, why is it so horny? They're like, well, it seems like a personal problem. Yeah, I jerk off to it, but it's not horny. I'm just like, again, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm merely saying that maybe the cultural difference makes it appear more unusual to me, whereas the horniness on American television seems more benign because I'm desensitized to it. And then inevitably also because like you insult Love Hina or something like that. I've got to answer for the fact that I watched 10 episodes of 90 Day Fiancé in November 2019. Okay, well, you know what? That's my cross to bear, okay? I didn't realize at the time when if I had realized this at the time, by the way, it would have changed my media diet. I didn't realize at the time that there's such a thing as media cancellation, which is if you've ever watched 90 Day Fiancé in your entire life, your media opinions never have any credence from that point onwards. But is it okay if I watch extreme couponing? I love a lot of the horrendous TLC shows, and I would never tell a lie about it. Like, Customer Wars goes crazy. Most anime isn't even sexual. It's tame compared to American TV. It's not, though. Like, again, I'm meeting you at a level where we can have like a shared human experience. We don't have to lie to each other about that. Like, most American TV is not that sexualized. It's actually its greatest sin is that it's just boring. Like, there's obviously amazing American television shows, but if we're drawing the comparison between American TV and like Japanese anime, we're talking about like CBS procedurals where every single episode is like, a crime got committed in Hell's Kitchen. Sick bastard cut off the fingers of his victim, put him in the coin slot of all the pinball machines. They call him the pinball killer. And then like over the whole episode, there's just like, we're never going to find the pinball killer. And then they're like, oh, I think that's him. False alarm. There he is. Get him. We got the pinball killer, you know? That's just, it's more just boring instead of anything else. It's not even gory. No, it's like there's, it's not violent. There's like illusions of violence. They don't have the good sense to be genuinely violent, because that might be too interesting. Might turn off the target audience. You'd rather have that than horny? No, they both suck. That's the thing. Oh, and so do we, for the record, right here. Yeah, so do we. I'm just trolling? What is, I deal with your argument and now you're trolling? A second ago when you thought you had me on the ropes, you were serious? Horny can be fun. I mean, some of the good animes are a little horny. Kimi no Nawa was a little horny. There's a gender swap, body swap thing going on. He's feeling himself up when he gets in the body of a girl, but it's also a great movie. I'm just talking about the stuff that is like horny but with no other merits associated with it. Most anime has zero horny. You know what it is like when when someone on the street says like, do you have a second to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? And you're like, no, I'm busy. And they're like, you know who else was busy? Was King Menelaus. Back in the, and you're like, I get that you have like a flow chart of like because I'm coming at this from a place of sympathy. Okay, it probably sucks that your media diet gets criticized so much, and that's why you have all the counter arguments built in. But it's like an asymmetrical argument because mostly I'm just expressing my opinion. I'm not trying to say why does Anime Club get free pizza from the school board when the trivia team has to pay for our own. You can watch whatever you watch. I'm just saying this. It's the. Oh, hold on. I need to see how many wins we got. 2. That was. Hold on. 0% of people bet on 2. That's a 260x for whoever did do the 2 betting. But this is also like, can I tell you why? And this is again coming from a place, and I know that you're going to be like, yeah, but those people aren't criticized as much as we are. So of course we are. Feelings are hurt. But listen, we can all. I can learn something from this. You can learn something from this. When someone's like really into watching Law and Order SVU, and you go, I don't think that show's very good. They go, yeah, it fucking sucks. I hate it. I watch it every week because it's on Thursday nights at 8 is when I fold the laundry. It's just kind of like a habit that I'm into. When you say like, oh, bad animes are really bad, all of a sudden, people, they come for your fucking throat. They go crazy. I'm not trying to say that they shouldn't exist. I'm just, there's like, yeah, some animes are really bad, but are they as bad as the worst episode of Young Sheldon? And I'm like, I don't know. I try not to watch that shit either. It's not, it's just a show. People get defensive when they know they might be wrong. No, but now you've got me defending the people that I was disagreeing with. Because I hate that. Like, I hate when someone tells a lie about you, and then you're like, that's a lie? And they're like, why so defensive? And you're like, well, what am I supposed to do then? Be like, admit to the lie? And then they're like, wait a second. Like, you get accused of something, you're like, I didn't do that. People are like, that's what a guilty person would say. Okay? It's also what an innocent person would say. So this is why the court system is not based on that's what a guilty person would say. Sorry, I saw the essay and I said, oh no, then I saw who it was from and I said, oh, okay. It's not surprising.
You will never be Japanese. You will never find the love of your life in Japan who looks like this and is a cutie pie Japanese girl. You will never be the protagonist in an anime. You will never have superpowers to allow you to overcome your most greatest tribulations. You'll always be a loser.
Someone called you an incel? What the hell? I have a biological child. My man. You know that Baby Yoda tweet and the Baby Carrot tweet still get like likes and retweets to this day? It comes. I'm sure I'm sure Chib has gone through this. When you have a tweet that goes like viral, it hits pockets in the long tail. It hits pockets of virality. So there will be like 3 weeks where I don't see any notifications on that tweet, and then I'll get like 500 in a day. I am surprised though that there's baby carrots. That means my man, and then the picture of the VeggieTales carrot. I'm surprised that has done so much better than there's a baby Yoda. That means my man. Tweet it's the Yoda one is so much funnier to me. Maybe because it was first, but get off Twitter. It's too horny. What are you mad about the Love Hina joke again? Listen, I love Spirited Away as much as the next guy. It's probably one of the greatest movies of the 2000s, of the 21st century so far. Why is it that there's always the anime fans, man, that are like someone's like, some animes are bad. They're like, wrong. And I'm like, what about that one? They're like, yeah, that's okay, true. That one's kind of ass, but so is Young Sheldon. And I'm like, bro, I didn't make Young Sheldon. I don't even like good American network TV shows. Like, I think Modern Family is like a blight on culture. I think it's like a No True Scotsman thing. It's like only actual anime fans can say that shitty animes are shitty. If someone who doesn't watch that much anime says that a shitty anime is shitty, they haven't earned it yet. You haven't earned it until you've bought the box set on Blu-ray. Dude, yeah, we should do that about North America. Sorry, and it was basically, you said America, but I'm letting myself piggyback in on this. Bro thinks he's on the team. I'll take my draw. People always be like, oh, Burger King's bad. Oh, really? Burger King's bad? So you've never had a lukewarm Yoshinoya beef bowl in the middle of Shinjuku? There's bad restaurants in Japan, too. I follow random_restaurant. I've seen, where do you live? You live in Slovenia? Check out this fucked up restaurant in Slovenia you've never been to before. Yeah, okay, you're right. Burger King is ass, but only we get to say it. Only we get to say Burger King is ass, okay?